I'm so happy I am old and smart. Because there was a time that I was young and dumb. Like this dumb bitch here.
Yellow diamonds look like BB.
If Lamont wanted a baby, they could make one right now. Who was he talking to? Some other girl right in front of her? Oh my God, thank you so God. Thank you, God. I am old and smart. Oh my God, just thinking, oh, thank you, God, I'm old and smart. Lamont gave her a quitted look and pushed her aside. Well, can't really help you with that, player, Daryl said, wondering what Lamont was talking about. He hated kids. Now Lamont had a quizzical look for the phone. Then he started cackling. His mouth opened so wide he looked like he was in the dentist's office. It was a mad scientist laugh, which meant he was truly tickled. I mean, I want a kid rapper, you stupid mother hunchy. Find me a kid rapper, a little somebody. Massively disappointed. What the fuck, you dumb bitch? Anyway, I want a kid rapper, you stupid MFer. Find me a kid rapper, a little somebody. Massively disappointed, Kendra went back to her moisturizing, moving on to her feet. And she remembered she'd had the Depo-Provera shots and couldn't get pregnant anyway. Dummy. You probably got the shots. He probably drove your ass. No, he probably told Daryl to drive your ass down there to the doctor's office to get the damn Depo-Provera shots. In that case, Daryl said, I might already have somebody. A kid? You thought I wanted to have a kid? Lamont cackled into the phone, amused at the implausible idea. Hey, who knows? Even a money-stacking, pussy-chasing pimp mother hunchy like Lamont Jackson might need some unconditional love one day. That made Lamont smile. He was surprised Daryl knew what the word unconditional meant. Lamont hung up the phone and took a long hot shower and then, though clean, vigorously washed his hands with antibacterial hand soap like he was prepping for surgery. He climbed into bed, pulled up the covers, and picked up the medical paper still sitting on the nightstand. The bitch's name was Svetlana. He chortled. Lamont's chortle was a step down from his full-on cackle. It was reserved for mildly amusing surprises. Lamont tossed the paper aside and kissed Kendra on the cheek in one swift movement. Good night, baby. He rolled over on his side, facing away from her, and snuggled up to the pillow. He usually didn't like to be touched in his sleep, and the California king gave him a wide berth. But tonight, when Kendra nuzzled up against his wide back and slid her supple, sweet-smelling arm around his ample waist, he took her hand and rubbed it tenderly. I'm so happy I am old and smart. Because there was a time that I was young and dumb. Like this dumb bitch here. Kendra was thrilled to have such warmth shining down upon her. She'd done the right thing by sneaking in. Anything to keep Lamont interested and happy. Lamont was asleep within 10 minutes. He dreamed that Mimi was straddling him naked, swishing her long honey-colored locks all over his big fat belly. You didn't tell me Mary J. Blige was going to be here, Mimi said, looking up through the huddle of girls. Lamont shrugged. I didn't know she was coming. He'd seen Amani and Lena running around whispering to each other before running back to the guest bedroom of his rented Hampton summer home that was now functioning as Mimi's dressing room. Something was up and they were trying to keep it from him. He didn't like that. So what's going on? Nothing, Imani answered before Mimi could. She's just a little nervous, but we're all good. Nothing to worry about. She made fanning motions with her hands, trying to get rid of him. Vanessa, Lena, and Kiko, Lena's makeup artist friend, were willing him out as well. Mimi was already nervous, and they all knew Lamont's presence would only add to the problem. Good, Lamont said, backing out. You've got 10 minutes. He gave Mimi a get-it-together look and left. He was not about to coax a singer into singing. Look up, Kiko said, brandishing a mascara wand. Well, we know this is before the time of the eyelash, or in between the time of the eyelash. Okay, because we wear these young girls out, or at least I do. But remember, back in the 60s, when them bitches wore them eyelashes, I would be like, this shit is a fool. But then again, my mama used to put layers and layers and layers of mascara on her eyelashes. She just never was a fake eyelash girl, but she was definitely a mascara girl. And she knew how to wear it so thick that it looked like it was fake eyelashes. You know, my mom used to be a model and gave up modeling to have my ass. Not me, mammy. Not me. You a better bitch than me, because there ain't no fucking way I'm giving up my modeling career to be somebody, mammy. Sitting on the edge of the bed in slinky pink and white, Diane von Furstenberg dress that Vanessa had chosen for her, Mimi looked up. But Love No Limit is her song. If it were something else, I wouldn't be as worried. When she had sung in front of people before, she had always gotten jitters. Once she had gotten out there, though, the nervousness usually faded. But she'd never sung for an audience like this. Lamont had a stage with a band set up in his backyard by the pool, and he decided on the song she should sing. At first, Mimi had suggested Alanis Morissette's You Ought to Know. Lamont had said, you're not white, and you're not a rock chick. Why would you even say that? You're bugging. After that, she kept her mouth shut as Lamont and Witchy had a confab about what she should sing. They decided on Mary J. Blige's Love No Limit. Mimi loved that song, and they'd had her rehearsing all week with the band and the vocal coach, but no one told her she was going to have to sing it in front of Mary. Well, that's a coup. And then earlier, Lena pointed out Andre Harrell, the music mogul who'd discovered Mary J. Blige. And everyone was buzzing that Puffy was going to show up. After the girls checked out Mimi to make sure everything was in place, Imani led them all out to the living room. Take a deep breath, Imani counseled. Lamont was on the stage making some introductory remarks to his guest. He and Nate had rented this 4-bedroom East Hampton home 2 summers in a row. Cost from Memorial Day to Labor Day, $350,000. They lived south of the highway near the beach, unlike earlier years when they hadn't known the lay of the land. Location was everything in the Hamptons if you were trying to impress, and Lamont always was. Usually he didn't send out invites to his annual July 4th bash. It was strictly word of mouth. But this year there had been formal invitations because tonight, before the spectacular fireworks, he'd show off his new discovery, the first princess of Triple Large. All in attendance appeared eager to get a look at the new young singer Lamont had been crowing about to anyone who'd listen. We're going to stand over to the right. Imani reassured Mimi as Lamont told some ribald joke that got plenty of laughs. Just look at us, okay? Mimi shook her head and tried to breathe. Do not look at Mary J. Imani said because she could see Mimi was staring at her. Imani used her index finger to turn Mimi's face away. I repeat, do not look at Mary. Look at us. Sing to us. You'll be fine. Absolutely not. Because we know if we ain't never read any books in the world, you do not sing a bitch song while she dead. Remember in the movie Respect when I forget the lady, was it Carolyn Ward? But anyway, you know they had to hire Hollering Hudson. It don't matter if the lady is black, white, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Latina. The only peoples that they ever consider to play a role which could sing in the movies is always going to be that Jennifer Hollering Hudson. Remember in the movie, Aretha / Hollering Hudson thought that she was paying homage to, was it Carolyn Ward? I'm not sure. I'm sure y'all will correct me in the comments. But Carolyn Ward went up to Aretha Franklin, Carolyn Ward, being Mary J. Blige's character. You don't ever sing the Queen songs, honey. It made that damn Riri cry. Nobody trying to fight no damn Mary J. Blige over no damn song. You know back then she was with that damn, what's his name? Was it JoJo or Casey? And they was doing the boogity sugarity. Okay? They was fighting each other like wild dogs. Do not look at Mary J. Blige, Imani said, because she could see Mimi was staring at her. Imani used her index finger to turn Mimi's face away. I repeat, do not look at Mary. Look at us. Sing to us and you'll be fine. And that is what Mimi did. She didn't make any chit-chat as Lamont did so easily with his 100 or more people sitting on white folding chairs in his backyard. She just went right into the song and looked only at Imani and Lena and Kiko for the first verse. Then she eased into it, relaxed some, and she could see the people behind her. Girls were getting into it, mouthing the words. Then she finally snuck a glance at Mary J. Blige, though she was telling herself, don't do it. Mary smiled at her, and it was probably the best moment of her whole life. As soon as she ended the song, the fireworks began. Lamont had timed it perfectly. Yeah, you know that goddamn Mary J. Blige, that bitch is known to kick her ass. Afterward, everyone was coming up to tell her how great she sounded. Mimi, they'd say, rushing across the grass, and she'd think they were people she'd met before, and then she'd realize they weren't. You were great, they'd say, or Lamont was right about you. And then they just trail away, never introducing themselves. It was weird. Since the girls had dispersed, she wandered around the property feeling like she didn't know what to do with herself, being accosted every so often by some random admirer. After changing out of her performance dress, she peeked into the second guest's bedroom and found Vanessa alone snorting some coke. Uncharacteristically generous, Vanessa held out the powder-covered mirror.